Hello and welcome back to another episode of Why So Sidious a Nerd podcast. Joining me today are my co-host Jeremy and Andy. We almost had the band back together, all four of us, but Dave had to step out last minute. But he'll be back soon because we do have a lot of shows coming out on the horizon, including Daredevil Born Again Season 2, so stay tuned for our coverage of that. Our most recent episode is a comic talk with the Cosmic Collector. JD and him did that, so go check that out. You can go follow him on TikTok as well. It does a lot of comic reviews just like we do. So today we are going to be covering the big news of the week. We had Dune 3 teaser trailer. Spider-Man Brand New Day had its first trailer, which we've been waiting for so long now. Maul Shadow Lord dropped another trailer. We'll talk about that as well. It's pretty cool. And then all three of us, well, two and a half of us, were able to see Project Hail Mary this weekend. JD had to step out about halfway. He's got a couple younglings with him, but he's read the book, so he knows what happens. So we'll have a quick little spoiler-free review at the beginning for those of you who haven't seen it, and then stick around after the trailer talk if you want to hear our full spoiler review. Not like a full breakdown, just kind of talk about it for 10-15 minutes or so. So don't forget to check us out on social media, TikTok, X, YouTube. We got that merch store, got the website up. The links is in Spotify, a couple other places as well. You can check out a little bio, merch store. Everything's right there. Everything you need to know. All of our greatest episodes.
You use ChatGPT and you didn't. That's always a fun game.
All right, let's get into. Let's do a quick little Project Hail Mary, like a 30-second overall thought, spoiler-free review. So, Andy, you want to kick it off? You saw it first out of all of us.
Yeah, I mean, I've never read the book. I didn't even know about this film until sort of like towards the end of last year. When my wife mentioned about it, she said that she loved the book. She couldn't wait for it. I saw then the trailer. I think it was back in like November time, and I was like, okay, this looks cool. And then the hype's come up, and I was excited to go and see this. I booked my ticket before she did. And I'm like, see, I'm off on Friday evening to go and watch this. Got to the cinema.
You take turns? Or what?
We kind of do have to be fair. Yeah, it's hard to both go. But I mean, first of all, great cinema experience simply because it's the first time I've been to the cinema in years, and there was no talking, there was nobody on phones, there was no disruptions. Everyone was just into the film, which speaks volumes for how good the film was itself, because everyone just concentrated on that. But wasn't quite sure what to expect because obviously I didn't know about the book. I've only seen the trailers. But overall, I thought this was a really good film. I did really enjoy it. I was captivated the whole way through. It didn't really feel like a sci-fi film to me, even though obviously it's about an alien and there's like a problem with the suns in every like part of the universe and stuff. So there is obviously a sci-fi element to it, but it felt more about plumbing the depths of human emotion and loneliness and friendship and sacrifice as well. So it felt more like that kind of story than it did to me a sci-fi story. It's been called a sci-fi epic, but yeah, to me it was much more than sci-fi. So really enjoyable. I'd go out there and see it if I were you.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't read the book either. I would go in there as blind as possible if I were you. Because I feel like just experience it. One of the people I went with didn't even know there was an alien in the trailer, so I guess it's not a spoiler, right? She didn't even know there was an alien in it. So when that popped up, she was like, "Oh, this is cool." So I feel like obviously I just spoiled it for you, but just don't try and read too much into it. Just go see it and have a good experience. A couple little critiques. I would say it was maybe 15-20 minutes too long, but I do like it. I would rather it be 15 minutes too long than 15 minutes too short. There was a lot of story to tell, so I did and the first act was maybe a little slow, but they were setting things up, and then it really got going. But like what you said, Andy, it was more about like the human emotions and like the friendship of those, the people in the movie. And it was, I mean, the deep space travel stuff is always cool for me, like Interstellar. It wasn't like Interstellar, though. People try to say it's like that. I thought Ryan Gosling did a great job. It's really his movie. He's like the star of the entire movie. So I really enjoyed it. So I would definitely try and go see it. And have you guys seen the 70 millimeter IMAX pictures of it? Because holy crap, like there's like entire extra piece of like the space you see, like a 20 feet on each side. Yeah. So JD, you read the book and you saw the first half of the movie. So how'd you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I really liked the movie. I thought it was the pacing was really good. It was constantly entertaining and funnier than I expected. Funnier than the book, I think, but the book was still pretty
Yeah,
funny.
it was really
Strat
funny.
was yeah, Strat was way funnier in the movie, I thought. She was way more serious in the book. And well, like she is very serious, but a lot of comedy came out of that seriousness, just like oversimplifying the fact that people are going to die or something like that. I will say the rocky communication, that's where I left off. Then I got 4 kids, y'all. So things happen. They're all under 7 years old. Had to leave. Well, the rocky communication thing was not as good in the movie. It didn't really make as much sense.
No
No
spoilers.
surprise. Oh, we're not doing spoilers. Okay. And Rocky being introduced in the trailer, I had the same thing you did where your wife was surprised to see the alien and it might have amplified the story. That's how I felt when I read the book. So I was wondering if they were going to show Rocky in the trailer. Sure enough, they did,
They
which
shouldn't
is
have.
fine. That's what
They
I
shouldn't. I agree
kind of
with you. They
think too.
shouldn't have.
Yeah. Another thing in the book that he did that we didn't get in the movie was the way that he deduced where he was, how fast he was going, what direction he was going, the things that he did in the ship in like the first couple chapters to deduce all that stuff was so captivating, really cool. Felt like Batman detective, knives out detective stuff, just figuring it out while you're in space. But instead, he kind of just hops on this computer and yeah, spoiler territory already. Anyway, really fun though. I thought that the come togetherness of it was really cool. Like this security guard that seems all stern and closed off. They become friends and start. He's involved in the science projects. Let's see. There was the one of the Asian dudes that was in the big meeting on the aircraft carrier. It seems like you're gonna have Ryland Grace sitting there and maybe being a little um, not made fun of, but something along that, like he doesn't belong there. But instead, like they're all getting along singing the "Whoop, there it is" song. So there is a cool, like, let's all just be people and figure this out together vibe. And I can't wait to see the second half of the movie someday. And now, after those pictures, I know I'm going to try to look for that IMAX screen instead.
There you go. Awesome. So we'll get more into it at the end of the episode, but let's get into the big trailers of the week. So first we had our Dune 3. Hasn't been called Dune Messiah yet. I feel like that's only been on the internet. I think they're just going Dune 3.
Yeah, it makes sense because they were doing part 2,
right?
And then part 3.
So what do you guys think of the trailer? I have some information from Denis and Jessica and other people. So
you called
Andy,
them up and spoke to them, yeah, and they gave you the info directly.
Yep, I interviewed them myself. So no, Andy, what do you think of the trailer and how big of a Dune fan are you?
I've become a big Dune fan because it took me a while to watch the first ones, and when Dune Part 2 came out, I booked the ticket to see it, and then he watched Dune Part 1 the night before I went to go and see Dune Part 2 in the cinema. So it did take me a little while to start off with it, but since then, I absolutely love these films. This has the potential to be obviously amazing in terms of a trilogy. The first one obviously sets up more the second one, so I think the second one out of the two is, well, we've all said it's a better film, and it's a better standalone film out of the two as well, because the first one feels more like setup, and then the second one is kicking everything into action. So but yeah, just the scale of this from where it moves on, and everyone keeps talking about obviously the scale of Paul's infiltration into the galaxy and his influence when you compare like two of the shots from part 2 and then the trailer from part 3 where he's walking up at the stand atop and he looks out in the crowd, and it's obviously much bigger now in part 3. The obviously the chanting, everything on top of it, it was an amazing trailer. It got me really hyped up for it. I can't believe it's fucking December. It's still so long away. It's just, I'm in love with this franchise, and once the films are done, I'm going to go and read the books, because I know obviously there's a huge difference. And I said to you guys before, I didn't want to go out and read Dune Messiah because I want to see how the film storyline runs it first without thinking and crossbreeding with the book. But I will be going and reading these books afterwards. That's how good I think they are.
Agreed. I read the first Dune book after watching part 2, and I haven't read Dune Messiah yet, so I don't know any spoilers. But JD, what do you think of this trailer for all part 3?
It's funny. This trailer made me realize a third in a trilogy is it's kind of hard to do a teaser trailer because we already know the vibes and the aesthetics and the cinematography. We already know all of that's going to be top notch. So it's like, what can you really show us for a teaser? It's not supposed to give story elements and stuff. So I know I'm getting good cinematography, so that's no surprise. So I'm just really curious how the plot's going to go, since Dune Messiah is received kind of poorly. People are not thrilled with like what that story covers, skipping the war, just going straight to him as emperor. And that's what I'm really curious about. Yeah. So that's what I'm really curious about. No surprise. It looks awesome cinematography wise. And I fully expect this to be better than the book. I think Denny's going to do his own thing with that. And it's going to be just as good. And man, if this is as good as even Dune 1 and maybe even Dune 2, like for sure, one of the best trilogies of all time. It probably is right below, right after Lord of the Rings after that, as long as it's at least as good as Dune 1. So right. I'm thrilled, really just curious to see what it's actually going to be about.
Yeah. I don't see it being better than part 2, but it needs to be better than part 1. It needs to be like right in between the two, a nice little finish to it. But when it comes to the trailer, I'm surprised they showed Zendaya and Paul back together so much. I know it's in the story, it's in the book, but the last movie ends with him leaving, going with Florence Pugh's character. They're going to go get married, which was a change from the books. In the books, sorry, Andy. Chani decides to go with him. She's like, I don't care. I still love you. So she has like basically like a concubine on the side is Chani. But so they're kind of back together, but I'm wondering if those are flashbacks at the same time or like
I wonder if it was like
you also have Jason Momoa
like that.
That's a clone. But sorry,
it's
Andy, what'd you say? Yeah, it's a clone. Andy, what'd you say?
Well, I was just wondering if like the scenes where they showed like Zendaya's character and they were talking about like naming their kids or whatever, if that was kind of some kind of spy stream, because
visions that didn't happen.
Visions that, because when you look at them they look a lot younger, as if it's like part 1 or part 2,
right?
And then when you see them as they actually are in the film, like 17 years later, they obviously look a lot older, a lot more sort of haggard from
and apart,
war
not together.
Like yeah. So to me, I think that's a false dream or a vision that they're having, rather than like a real situation.
So how do you know it's a clone?
That's just what I saw, because he's like dead.
Yeah, he's dead. So that with the mixture of them two together and Jason Momoa, that just, I thought flashback. Maybe I didn't even consider clone.
Maybe Paul brought him back as emperor, like cloned him to bring him back for himself, because he's in the book, and I mean in the trailer he looks a little evil, like he's got some dark side disfigurements to him.
Dave said in his reaction video, when he did the reaction video that's up on our socials, he said that this character is called Hate, as in Hayt, and he just says, if you know, you know. And then I saw a clip where someone goes, Duncan Idaho plays about 17,000 different characters through the Dune franchise. So Hayt said it. Well, that's how he spelled it in his captions anyway. So he's like, it is Duncan, but it's not Duncan. So I guess a claim would make sense in a way. Like if
I think he's in the first book,
death, and then he was cloned and brought back as like an evil clone.
Okay.
That's why he's got his patented goatee back, isn't he? So.
It just felt weird because we didn't deal with cloning at all in the first two, did we?
No.
And Robert Pattinson's character, how about that? I didn't even know it was him the first time I saw the trailer. I went back online. It was like first look at Robert Pattinson. I was like, wait, that's him. He's not a specter, a scyther, or whatever it's like a shapeshifter person. It was in the Dune prophecy show.
Clones and shapeshifters, so there's like a lot being added to this.
Face dancer or whatever I think it's called.
And in pure Dune fashion, you could see a couple shots in this trailer of really cool weapons. They always have such cool, creative weapons, and you have this machine gun missile thing popping down on people. It was pretty sick. I can't wait to see what else they bring to that movie like that.
Yeah,
because remember they would have like basic little squares like popping up out of the sand and chasing you down, and just the weirdest technology, but it was so clean and badass.
Well, there's something with if a bullet hits the shield they wear, there's like a giant explosion or something, right? Isn't that what it is? There's something where they had to change their weapons because old school bullets with the shields like were a bad combo, and everyone just like started blowing up, and they just figured, okay, we don't want to do that anymore. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. There's a whole Dune thing about that. But
Oh, and before we move on, I didn't know you read Messiah. Did you not like it
no,
like
just the
everyone
first
else?
book. Just the first book.
Okay. What did you think of the book,
Oh,
Dune?
it's awesome. It's really
Is it
good.
really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I should read
Well,
it.
it starts off slow, and then the last like probably 5-6 chapters are like crazy because that's the end of part 2. So it's the end of part 2, but in a book style. So
Well,
it's
yeah,
pretty
it's part
crazy.
1 and 2 all in one book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should be
It's
good.
awesome. So we'll see how it goes. And of course, Frank Herbert wrote this book, Dune Messiah, because everyone was such a fan of Paul Atreides, and he's like, no, wait, like he's not a good person. Like we need to show. He wrote this book to show how Paul Atreides was not the hero we think he is. So you can definitely see that in the trailer already as well, with the way he looks.
Have you
He's
guys seen
full
the old
emperor.
Dune? The old Dune movie?
Yeah, I don't think I ever finished it, but I've watched like parts of it.
It's really
It's
weird. I watched it a long time
cheesy.
ago. And what's his name? The main
Sting.
Baron.
Oh no! Oh
No, not Sting.
The Baron Harkonnen.
Yeah, the Harkonnen. So he's got nasty boils all over his face, big old nasty boils. It just takes you out of it. Just like,
Well, no,
dude, stop.
Sting the singer plays Austin Butler's character. I forgot his name.
Oh, okay.
Race?
Race. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I don't know. But we're excited. Who drafted this in the box office? Was it Dave?
No,
I think it's
JD,
me.
wasn't it?
I have both movies on the same day, which
Yeah,
risky,
'cause he
but
got-
we'll
Oh,
see.
you went Avengers Doomsday. Okay, let's
Yeah,
do
it was the best on the list. That'll be a
I
fun
like it.
day.
I like it. Oh, so sorry, Denis Villeneuve said it's a thriller, more action packed than the last 2 films. Takes place 17 years after. Paul's dealing with the consequences of having too much power. He's an emperor who can see the future, so he's kind of invincible. We will follow people trying to overthrow him. It's quite an intense story. And then Anna Taylor-Joy's character, who was just a baby in the first 2 films, is like a full-on adult now. She's a very big character. Has like because Lady Jessica was pregnant while she took the mini worm drink thing to become one of the
poison.
the poison. Yeah, she drank the poison. So she has powers. She's crazy. And Anna Taylor-Joy on the Today Show was talking about her character. She said she's one of a kind. There's never been anyone like her. She's named the Abomination, and a lot of people find her really creepy except for her brother. She has absolute presence. She lives with the voice of generations of people in her head. There's never a singular conversation that can drive somebody a little bit crazy. So she sounds like a wild character. I'm excited to see it on screen. It's the perfect movie.
Sounds like a witch to me.
Sounds like a witch. Yeah, burn her. But we'll see how. I think she's good, though. I'm pretty sure. I think she's a good guy. I could be wrong, though, but I'm going to say she's a good guy. What do you think? If you had to guess.
Well,
No clue. No clue.
Her brother's the only one that trusts her. So that
well, I
could
was
be
going to say, it feels like she would be like more an agent of her brother's doing. And like him giving her instructions on things that she needs to do, and she just whips out there with her powers and goes and sorts it out for him.
Tricks people and shit.
Maybe kind of an agent of chaos.
Yeah.
Kind of like does maybe like a Loki's type of character who kind of gets along with her brother, does for the most part what he needs, but kind of has her own schemes in the background that are kind of chaotic.
Oh, yeah. Geez, their mom really went against the rules. Had a son when she wasn't supposed to, and then had Aaliyah afterwards. Like, jeez. And don't ask where George got the name Leia from either. Okay.
Or any of the concepts.
Or any of the concepts, Emperor, all that kind of space stuff. But anyway, let's move on to Spider-Man.
The chosen one again.
So Spider-Man, brand new day, my first pick in the box office draft, and it has like 700 million views or some shit. Like, was that correct? Like, I don't know. I think they just reported that.
It smashed trailer records.
Biggest trailer of all time.
Let's go.
It seems like we hear. Seems like we hear that every other
opening weekend.
big trailer.
Until we get the proper Doomsday trailer, and then that'll smash the record.
Oh yeah,
right. Of course,
that's a billion.
And then Secret Wars.
Yes. So in the trailer, we see shots of Bruce Banner, Scorpion making his return, teased in what? Homecoming?
Homecoming.
Yeah, right.
Put your head
Frank
in the
Castle's
dryer.
Puncher, of course. It was a Punisher. Sorry, JD. It was a very MJ and Ned centric trailer. I felt like it was a lot about trying to rekindle that flame with the two of them and them not remembering him. And is he turning into a spider? Are we getting Man Spider? I guess it's from the comics, which I hope we don't. So what do you guys think of this trailer overall?
You go, Andy.
I was waiting for you. We're getting a version of Man Spider to start with, aren't we? It's not going to be the full on he turns into an eight-legged freaks one, but he's definitely, they're obviously giving him some sort of concepts from that. He's the way that his vision and his senses go at it. Obviously, having the organic webs now.
I don't like that.
So yeah, they're definitely going down that route. In terms of the trailer in general, I really enjoyed some parts of this, and others I wasn't like that. I don't like the focusing back on Ned and MJ stuff. It's like this is obviously 5 years after No Way Home. Like, can we not have left them behind now and concentrate on what Peter's doing?
Whoa, come on! Don't leave him behind.
Fuck, come on, you know what? I mean, we've just talked about Dune.
You can't.
You know what?
I kind of thought that was the point
as well.
of forgetting.
But like the whole point was we moved past them, and like I felt like they were showing the more grounded Peter that maybe I think a lot of people said they want to see. They don't want to see like the high tech Peter with all the gadgets and stuff like that and the flashy suits. They want to see the broke, slightly depressed on his own Peter, where Spider-Man's at his best, but Peter Parker is like disconnected and is scrambling to find that connection with those around him. I think that's better. Obviously, it looks like he's going to have good rapport with Frank. Their interaction in the trailer was quite good. Feels like they're squeezing a lot into this as well, though, because they've got the storyline with obviously him in his transformation, what's going to be going on in him trying to like reconnect with Ned and MJ. We've got what's going on with Scorpion, what's going on with Frank, and what looks like the military or damage control. Damage control is obviously involved in it as well. Sadie Sink's character, which looks like it's probably going to be a mutant or possibly even Jean Grey, because we saw some of her potential abilities on show with people being sort of mind swapped. There's Scorpion. Looks like there's going to be flashback. The Hand are back into this. Yeah. We saw the flashbacks of him like defeating other criminals like Tarantula. Tombstone's going to be in this as well. So I don't know actually.
Hulk.
Bruce Banner's in this for fuck's sake. Like,
God.
This film is packed, and so part of me was like a little bit worried because I'm like, are they trying to do too much? Is there just so much going on this? Have we been No Way Homed again? Because everyone's talking about that last shot of the trailer where he's jumping in against the Hand, and it looks like there's people missing.
Right,
the Hand are jumping at different angles, and there should be is the Hulk below him, for example?
Someone's below him for sure.
So it felt like there was a lot going on, and it was like the first half of the trailer felt really good, and then when they concentrated more on like the Ned and MJ bit of the trailer, I was like, nah, that's snooze fest, move on. So I'm excited to see it still because it's 4 months to go until we get it out, and it's finally some action. So, you can't deny. I think this is going to be a smash hit. But there is just part of me worried that they're just trying to do too much.
Yeah, JD.
There is a lot, and Spider-Man's called him by his name, Frank, the Punisher. So I wonder if we're gonna start the movie and like, oh, they've met in the past, or are we gonna see their first meeting? I wonder. But man, seeing them on screen together, that's super cool. Like we should rank like most exciting like first character interactions on screen, something like that. Because I feel like Tom Holland's Spider-Man and freaking Bernthal's Punisher seems like a dream duo that I really, really never thought I'd see. That's crazy. So
I'd watch a buddy cop movie with those two for sure.
Of course. They're always good. I mean, they do it a lot in the comics, and it's always the same thing. Like, I need your help, but don't freaking kill anybody. And then he's
like him and Daredevil, really,
Yeah, exactly. 100%. So it's so weird though. You're talking about how stuffed it is, and I'm thinking it's also feels like it's stuffed with characters Marvel like half owns, don't have full control of, like we think Kingpin and Daredevil are going to be in there. We already got the Punisher, who I think Marvel actually fully owns. But if we're talking about Spider-Man, they kind of partially own him. Hulk is in the movie. They kind of partially own him. They can't just do Hulk movies. The Daredevil and the Hand stuff. And the Spider-Man villains adding so many, Tombstone, Scorpion. It's weird. It's like a movie packed with these people that can't have their own movie. So Scorpion, by the way, thought he was kind of looking really CW to me. Just Scorpion alone, I was like, I just don't buy his character. I didn't buy his end credit scene. I don't like his acting. He doesn't they'll have to really pick it up for me to be sold on that guy. But he's not going to be a big part of the movie, so it's not that big a deal.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
seemed
think
like they
anyway.
didn't show too much. Like it seemed like it was the main villain of the movie was not shown. Like we still don't know who do you guys think it is? Who do you think the main villain of this movie is going to be?
Is it not supposed to be Mr. Negative, or is that just a heavy rumor?
That was like the first big rumor that came out.
I don't think he's going to be in this film though.
With Glenn from The Walking Dead,
because I'm starting to feel like he's not going to either. Glenn from The Walking Dead. Oh, he wasn't cast or anything.
Michael
Yoon, yeah, something Yoon. Was he cast or was that just a thing?
I don't ever remember there being an.
No, that was not confirmed.
I
I'm just saying
so.
that was like the thing out there.
Oh, okay.
So we haven't really.
If it's going to develop to be like the Hand, because they want to bring the Hand back in after its collapse in like Daredevil season, and the Defenders, and then Sadie Sink's character is an interesting one because there's a guy in it who's like a manager or high up in damage control who's supposed to be playing like an anti-mutant supporter, so he's like against mutants and stuff like this and wants to use damage control to hunt them down. And it seems like that's where Sadie Sink's character is going to come in if she's playing Jean Grey or some form of mutant. And I wonder if they'll sort of like come together to go up against damage control and the Hand somehow, and it all just sort of mutates into one big sort of fight off there. So
no pun intended.
Yeah.
No, I do hope her character is not more, because first it was gonna say she's like a sharpshooter, or what was it, like some like militant person. There was the first rumor that she was gonna be. It was like, come on, don't put Sadie Sink in the MCU to have her be some side character. JD, you're muted.
Punisher had like a temporary sidekick that people were rumoring that was going to be her.
Right.
She had a traumatic event and kind of lost her family like he did, and they became a duo. But
that's kind of cool. If she's in the Punisher special with him,
she was snapped wearing an outfit that looks very similar to the character. But
I completely forgot about the Punisher special. Is that after or before Spider-Man? That's got to be after, right?
Well, it's coming out. I think it's rumored to come out in the next couple of months.
Summer, right?
Because they said late spring.
Okay.
Because it explains what Frank did between leaving when he escaped from Kingpin's prison in end of Born Again season 1 and where he is in Brand New Day. So I suspect that's going to come out in the next couple of months before Brand New Day. So it explains how he's out and about and doing stuff.
Good. I was just thinking on the Hand. I have a feeling since Daredevil's in his black costume, which in the comics he became like the leader of the Hand. I was thinking, I wonder if the Kingpin shutting everything down would have Daredevil want to recruit the Hand to help him stop Kingpin and all his goons. And we have so many of these villains in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Like those could be Kingpin's like Thunderbolts, which he also had in the Devil's Reign thing. He had a ton of B-lister, C-lister super villains as kind of a Thunderbolts team to help him enforce his laws. So it's really, really starting to see more and more like Daredevil and Kingpin should be in there. But no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, it seems more likely that maybe like somehow Daredevil does recruit the Hand to deal with the Kingpin lockdown situation in New York, and then by the end of Daredevil Born Again season 2, the Hand basically, they help defeat him, but then they rebel against Daredevil. And then they start causing issues because they're like, we don't want to be controlled by you. We're going to go do our own thing. And they become a pain in the ass for everyone.
Yeah. I didn't like them putting the scene in there of Spider-Man getting the key to the city from the mayor. Is that not a Daredevil spoiler? Are they not? Because the mayor gave him the key to the city, and it's not
interesting
anymore.
Yeah, because there was a Twitter thing about this because someone like tweeted Vincent D'Onofrio and said, "How do you feel about your assistant Sheila becoming your successor in terms of being the mayor?" And he's like, "I love it." And so everyone was like, "Hang on a minute, is that not like ruin?" I mean, in a way, maybe it ruins who takes over from him, but they'd already confirmed that the end of season 2 would be the end of the Mayor Fisk storyline. So we already knew that by the end of season 2 of Born Again,
I didn't know that.
The mayor.
I mean, I assumed it, but you don't want to say that out, you know?
Yeah, so it's just a case of like who would take over from him.
Well, then I kind of take back my confidence in Kingpin being in the movie. I didn't realize that was the end of the Mayor Fisk thing, which should make sense. So like maybe the Daredevil recruited the Hand and they're still kind of hanging around after Kingpin goes down. It kind of leaves Spider-Man there to deal with them. Who knows? One other thing I got, is they were talking about the spiders having 3 cycles, and then if you survive that, you go through a rebirth. It sounded pretty sick, and I'm looking up who was speaking that, and I think based on the scene, because it's just voiceover until you might have got the clip of Trammell Tillman. He's the guy supposedly saying this stuff. And if you look up his casting, he doesn't have a character under his name. So it's still a mystery. There's a guy named Ezekiel in the comics that I think he is for sure, because that guy in the comics showed up randomly, knew Peter Parker's name, and told him about this mythological connection that he has to this spider totem. And that had nothing to do with the man spider stuff, because the man spider stuff was like from this dark universe. He had his 6 freaking legs. So it wasn't like Peter Parker evolved. It was maybe a variant, but it does feel connected, though, the Spider-Man totem thing, because it brought the Spider-Man powers to a mythological level, and the whole rebirth thing. So I really think that guy's Ezekiel. That'd be really fun to be right about that. And organic webbing, super weird, because I remember, I don't know if you had the thing back in the day after Andrew Garfield got casted, and you go see that movie and it's mechanical, it's a device. And when I was younger back then, I was like, I don't like that. I kind of like the organic stuff. And then the more you read into it, Peter Parker's a genius, tensile strength and all that stuff. It was like, it's fine, it works. But now that he's going back to organic stuff, it's like what I always wanted them to do as a kid. I don't like it that much either. It feels kind of weird, right? So it's a weird route to take, but we'll see how it goes.
All right. Were any of us asking for Peter Parker to turn into an actual spider? Anyone want that? The black eye thing was kind of cool, though.
And it would be cool if his rebirth comes with just like a power upgrade, and he's just a stud after that. He's already a stud.
And if he's supposed to be one of the main characters in Secret Wars, at least, I don't know about Doomsday yet, but at least Secret Wars, he might need a little power upgrade if he's going to go against Doctor Doom and all those type of stuff going out there. So, see how it does.
Well, obviously, the heavy rumor is that this film takes place right before Doomsday, and these characters are then sidelined from Doomsday because of the events of this film. So,
Hulk. That makes sense.
Yeah. So it takes place almost concurrently with the events of Doomsday. So, so therefore they're not involved in it because they're obviously elsewhere doing other things. But
you could like totally see like an Ant-Man and the Wasp kind of post credit, like that was congruent to Infinity War, and then the snap happened at the end, kind of thing.
So who do we think was edited out at the end? Do you think it's just the Hulk, or do you think it's something different?
Where is someone supposed to be edited out?
So the very last clip of the trailer was like Spider-Man jumping into the air, and a bunch of like hand people were jumping up to him as well. But the way that they were staggered, there was like people coming up to Peter's level, and then there were like 2 almost lines of them that were below. In No Way Home, where they edited out the 2 other Spider-Men when they were going up against the guys at the Statue of Liberty. It was like that sort of situation, but it just looked obvious that people were edited out below Peter Parker because of the way that the hand were lined up to jump and attack. They were going to be nowhere near Peter, who was up high. So it just seems like someone's been edited out.
Daredevil.
People in there. Daredevil. Hulk. Could be Hulk.
Well,
I don't think reveal Savage Hulk.
Yeah, but like Hulk going against 6 ninjas is nothing. Spider-Man could take those 6 ninjas.
Right, that's true. The Hulk against ninjas is a bad idea.
It would be like a cool scene to watch him kill like 20 of them in like 30 seconds. That'd be sick, but it's not going to be like a challenge.
That's true. I like Daredevil, but if the Punisher's in that scene, they would have just shown Punisher, right? Or do you not want to know that they work together?
And like, he's not like a swinging around kind of fight guy. What do they think he's?
That's true.
Like on a glider below him or something.
Green Goblin, isn't it?
Yeah. Interesting. Maybe Green Goblin is Peter's friend at the moment.
No, I know who it is.
Could always be known.
Okay.
Because JD was saying about like obviously when he gets his power upgrade and it's like linked to the spider totem, and so they tap into the multiverse of spider people and stuff like that across the multiverse. It's going to be Madam Web.
Oh God!
Oh no! I was going to say Miles Morales.
Dakota Johnson comes in from her universe with their big fat glasses on and just ruins the whole film with Madam Web.
Could you imagine if it was Miles?
Oh, that would be sick.
That'd be sick.
Cool. But Sony won't do it until they're done with their Spider-Verse trilogy.
Yeah.
And Feige said not to expect Miles anytime soon. He said that like a year ago or something.
That's fair. All right. So that's coming out end of July, 2 weeks after the Odyssey. So we got a jam-packed July. Movies are about to start popping off. We have one more trailer to talk about. The Mall Shadow Lord trailer, the most recent one. There's been a couple now. Go ahead, JD.
Sorry, one last thing on Spider-Man. That's gonna crack $1 billion, right? That's definitely $1 billion movie.
Yeah. Come on.
It's gotta be, right?
Yeah,
Andy?
I'm going to crack $1 billion just watching that film. That's the thing.
So, all right, then do you think the regular fan base has trust in Marvel, or not even regular nerd fan base, but just the general audience, you think have more trust in Marvel now because of Fantastic Four
Spider-Man.
and Thunderbolts? It
Well,
is just
Fantastic
Spider-Man.
Four,
I
Spider-Man,
think
Spider-Man.
It's definitely making
not
$1
like-
billion. I'm wondering what you think the general consensus is like, because before Thunderbolts, it was an all-time low, I think, as far as general audience. Like no one's excited about it, but after
Captain
a couple
America-
good movies,
Captain America didn't hit 500 million, did it?
yeah, that's rough.
No, I think that's about 400, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think
Well, yeah,
for me,
so-
it's not that the confidence is back to Marvel. It's just these are the biggest characters. So because any Avengers film, they could throw anyone in there and everyone would go and watch it. It's the same for like Spider-Man. It's just another one that's up there, and we've been waiting as well months for this as well. So I think the anticipation is built up for this because we wanted it. I don't think the 3 films we had that year were amazing. I know a lot of people obviously do love Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. I think they were just above average in terms of the quality. And what's interesting for me is when I was thinking about this earlier, was the fact I'm more excited for the TV shows at the moment than I am the films. Like we've got Doomsday coming up, and obviously this is the only Marvel film we're getting this year before Doomsday. But even still, like I'm more excited for Daredevil than I am for Spider-Man, and I think that's just because the Marvel TV has been better for the last. I mean, even if you go back to obviously Netflix Daredevil at the start of it until now, the quality of the TV shows is eclipsed the quality of the films for the last 6-7 years. 6 years, should we say? We're talking post Endgame. So because I don't think you could if you put the best TV series up against the best films, the TV series would win, in my opinion.
Oh, I think the
disagree.
movies win.
I think
No,
Thunderbolts.
I'm talking about the
Fantastic
last
Four.
6. I'm talking about the last 6 years.
I put
Since-
Thunderbolts.
I think
and
still.
Fantastic Four.
Well,
think
and you
you're both
still have
fucking
Guardians
mad.
3, Spider-Man 3. I think, yeah, if you go like hour per hour, since the films have so much less, but there's been good films and only like a couple like really good Marvel series. Like even after WandaVision WandaVision and Loki might be the only Daredevil Born Again are like the only 3 I really like. Falcon Winter Soldier maybe up there too. But the last 6 years we've had Spider-Man 3, Guardians 3. I still like Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. And I think I might even be missing 1 or 2, but I think the movies are still better.
Deadpool, Wolverine.
Deadpool, Wolverine. Suck it, Andy.
Don't romanticize it though. Like the plot of Deadpool Wolverine was fucking terrible.
Right, I know.
It was
I know.
okay.
Like,
Like,
yeah,
just
basic
put-
as it gets.
Put your special sock aside, as Deadpool says, just because it got good. Like you guys romanticize the films, I think, a bit too much. Like the quality of the TV's been better for the last 6 years, and I look forward to that more right now. But now we're getting into the serious film side of it back again because it is the big characters, it's the big domains. We're talking Spider-Man, we're talking Avengers, we're talking Doom and Secret Wars. This is the big stuff for us, and this is the big thing for all Marvel fans. So this is why these films are going to do well regardless. You could have had 6 years of absolute fucking trash for every single film. Look, there's been a couple of gems in there, fair, but you could have had 6 years of trash and gone, you're about to have the biggest Spider-Man film of all time, followed by 2 biggest Avengers films of all time, and people will come running back as they're going to. So it doesn't matter. It does not matter whether people have got trust in Marvel or not. They were here because these are the big names, the big hitters, and this is what we want to see.
That's fair.
Oh, but Spider-Man No Way Home did not crack $1 billion. Did you know that?
Like 900 odd, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, 800 is what I'm seeing on Box Office Mojo, but that's crazy.
That was 2021 though, wasn't it?
Yeah, very COVID era, right?
COVID era. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, this will get $1 billion.
I do like the approach they're taking though, where they're not trying to make people think about Avengers Doomsday right now. They're just focusing on Spider-Man. There are a couple little random teaser trailers they dropped a couple months ago, and now they're focusing on Spider-Man, and then it'll be Avengers.
Yeah, and the previous Doomsday hype almost kind of helps Spider-Man Because people are like, oh my God, an Avengers movie's coming out. Oh my God, a Spider-Man movie's coming out before that. Well, let's go check it out.
Yeah. And I hope Daredevil ties in a little bit. That would be cool.
Me too. I really do hope. And honestly, I do hope we get Savage Hulk back. If he's in a movie, I'm always going to at least hope for it. So let's just pray.
There's no more Professor Hulk. That's good.
Yeah, that's a win right there. And we already know they're going to do Science Bro stuff, so that's a win. I could do
Science
Bruce
Bro
Banner in
stuff.
that movie only as Bruce Banner, and it'd be really cool and it'd make sense. But yeah, I think we'll get Hulk back.
All right, Maul Shadow Lord. That was a good little discussion. I like that you brought that back up, JD. I just really like the horror aspects of this trailer, like the flashes in the rain or lightning, and then you see Maul popping up with his lightsaber ignited. Like, I think this show's gonna be up there with like Clone Wars season 7 when it comes to like the animated shows. You know what I mean? That have come out in the last 5-10 years. So, Andy, are you ready for some Maul? A little more Maul story about him basically trying to avenge himself after Order 66, right?
As good as the Dune and Spider-Man trailers was, this is the best trailer out of the 3.
Wow. Okay, I like it.
You are right about the horror element. It was absolutely amazing in this. And the way that they do the animation as well, in terms of like when he looks like he's just jabbed someone through the head and the lightsaber goes through and it just pops up like Maul with the lightsaber through it and stuff like that. So just everything about this just screamed amazing. The fights look amazing. They said it's going to be very much an attitude change from Maul as well, towards what he thought about the Jedi, towards the way that he's approaching everything. Obviously being hunted down by the Empire and the Inquisitors, because we see obviously
Right.
was the 11th brother whose name I can't remember, the crow face dude. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He does have a name, I can't remember it. And obviously Marek as well from the Ahsoka series is here in a proper Inquisitor form. I wasn't that hyped for this when it was announced, because I'm like, fuck me, do we really need more of this?
Right.
Again, don't get me started on the Dave Filoni rant. I won't go there. But it was just more the fact that
He got you.
Really asking
He got
for
you.
this? He was doing this, and then the first trailer came out, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's roll with it. Like, it's, you know, I can't stop it coming out, but I'm just again, it was just, I'll watch it because I've got like interest in it, obviously because it's Star Wars, but I wasn't that hyped. This is the trailer that's got me hyped for it now, so I am excited for this bad boy. And we're only like 2 weeks away. So
Really? Is it beginning of April?
6th of April.
Wow.
So
And Daredevil's next week, right?
Daredevil's, yeah, well, Tuesday night for you guys, Wednesday for me. Because, you know, they hate us in the UK, so they give it to us at like 3 a.m.
There you go.
rather than fucking a decent time of the day to watch it. But yeah, so yeah, it all kicks off from next week. Because Daredevil starts next week. The week after that is The Boys, I think.
Yeah.
And then the week after that is Maul. So yeah,
We're
it's
ready to
going to be
go.
a banging month.
JD, will you be checking out this show?
Yeah, man, I'm right there with Andy. I think this trailer it just looks so sick, and it also wasn't that excited about it. Also, like had that first trailer make me excited about it, and then this trailer just looked so sick. Like everything I want in Star Wars. But in a perfect world, it'd be live action. But this looks way
With
way,
Sam
way better
Witwer?
than I expected.
Come on.
You got like multicolored Jedi's blocking a tons of shots together. You got a couple really cool villains. You got that crazy horror aspect. It just looks like it's so full of Sith and fun and lightsabers. And Maul's just a cool character, man. It sucks we know his fate. You know, it's not like we have that going for us for as far as story wise and stakes. But yeah, it just looks so good.
I do hope, or I worry, or I hope that it isn't about the Jedi too much, where it's like we try to introduce these new Jedi characters and the
Yeah, we don't
story
need
is
that.
like 70% them and it's Maul in the shadows. You know, you see him like at the beginning and the end of every episode until like a horror villain. But I do think it's going to be pretty Maul related. Of course, it's going to be the Jedi and the Empire. There'll be multiple storylines going on, but keep it around Maul.
There was
I
at
think that's-
least 2 hallway scenes that looked so cool in there.
You have to.
Yeah. It's like
the
the new
trademark
thing.
now, isn't it? You gave him that
Yeah.
hallway scene in season 7 Clone Wars finale.
So sick.
It didn't even need a lightsaber to take out the 501st, which is something that a lot of Jedi can't even do with a lightsaber. So yeah, it just looks so cool. I am annoyed about the Jedi aspect of this in terms of like more survivors. Like they just keep finding more people that they can throw in and go, okay, there's a couple more Jedi that survived Order 66, and it's just like originally there were three Jedi that survived Order 66 back in the pre-Disney days, and now they've got it up to like nearly 100. The official that survived in one way or another. So it's starting to take the piss a little bit and detract. Okay, you can still say that the odds of like 10,000 Jedi down to 100 is still a pretty fucking good job of wiping them out.
With how many planets there are, I guess.
Yeah. But still, it's like the whole point was that there was literally a handful left.
Right. And it was like a myth. No one remembered it. It was a foregone religion.
Years, they went from being like the peacekeepers of the entire galaxy down to forgotten myths that were mentioned under breath, and they're not mentioning it when someone says they don't believe in it. I mean, Chewie doesn't even correct Han, and Han's like, I don't believe in all that crap, and Chewie's like, I fought alongside him, you prick. And he doesn't even say that anymore. So
yeah, well, that's like a retcon kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
Chewie didn't know about the Jedi in the original trilogy.
No, fair. But you know what I mean. So,
but right,
but yeah. So that's the only thing that annoys me is like we've got to throw more Jedi. You didn't need to do that, to be fair. So, but I still think this is going to be epic. I mean, we saw obviously Mandalorians in there as well. A little clip of them probably helping Maul out since we know that he's still in charge of a bunch of them, and the Night Watch and whatever. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting show.
It would be cool if it was Maul versus the Inquisitors and the Empire. No Jedi.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be a cliche, but I mean, if the Emperor really wants him dead, why not send his right-hand man to Tack Dog, named Darth Vader? Which I'm not saying
they'll do it. The finale?
I don't think so. I don't think so, and I don't think you need to. I think they want to be separate, but that's why you got to like tiptoe if you're dealing with.
What
Darth
if they do?
Maul. There's.
What if they
well,
do
I'll be
Maul
excited.
Vader?
Of course, I'd be excited about it.
Andy would not.
Look, you guys know
if it fits, right? Vader, if it fits,
but the problem is that Maul loses pretty much every lightsaber battle he's ever had against the Jedi.
You can't go against Vader.
So you put him up against Vader, he's getting wiped out in about 3 seconds flat. Like a 16-year-old Ahsoka beat him twice.
Did they not?
That's because it's Filoni's girl.
Oh, this is true. I mean, a 25-year-old Obi-Wan Kenobi beat him. Hondo beat him with a bunch of fucking pirates. It shot his leg off, for God's sake. So it's just like Maul loses pretty much every lightsaber fight he has, unless it's against someone with less power. Anyone with equal or better power, and he gets bombed on every time. So you send Vader after him, he ain't surviving.
Did they not fight in Rebels?
No.
I know, like, did they share screen time or something? For some reason, I remember Vader showing up while they were chasing Maul or something.
They're both in that
end of season 2, the Twilight of the Apprentice,
right?
When he's trying to use the Sith holocron to control like the battle station, Vader shows up. By that stage, Maul had already had his encounter with.
Gotcha.
Fuck me, what's his called? Kanan.
Yeah.
And then it had been sort of defeated and gone away whilst Vader.
So they never really crossed.
It's Vader and Ahsoka. Vader and Ahsoka are fighting, and then it goes to Maul and Kanan and.
Although he obviously talks about Vader like he has fought him, because he says that he can't take on Vader alone, and he does talk in Rebels about how obviously Vader is so badass that he can't really cope with him. So it does make you wonder if they do cross paths at some point. But I just think like Maul would have to fucking just tuck tail and run if Vader shows.
What if he had Night Sister at his back, do some magic stuff?
Or you could do like a Fallen Order kind of thing where he's the last thing. Like we barely survive with our life because we escape, but you have to fight him a little bit. Remember Cal Kestis?
Yeah, even that's a bone of contention because he should have wiped out fucking Seer and Cal Kestis immediately.
Fair. You didn't like Seer versus Vader, Andy?
Don't you just? I know you love me ranting about things, guys, but you don't have to trigger me.
Don't get them started. I was gonna do a quick box office update.
They're like half a film to update.
Well, Project Hail Mary is projected for about 150 million opening weekend. I know Dave stole that from you, JD. It was pretty messed up. So
pretty good. Fair game, bro. Fair draft.
Right. And then movies we didn't draft. Hoppers. I think that's an Pixar movie. It's at 242 million. That's decent.
Opening weekend? Oh
no. Overall.
It's like a record opening weekend.
And then Wuthering Heights, the Jacob Elordi, Margot Robbie movie, the Cuck one, is at about 234 million. Scream 7. I actually saw that movie. It was ass. Yeah. It actually just crossed 200 million. And then there's I think it's a Korean movie. We don't draft international films. Pegasus 3. It's at 600 million. So that's like the biggest movie of the year so far. But
wow,
a couple people I recognize, but yeah, I think it's a Korean film. So that's about it so far. There's the Goat movie. I think that's like the DreamWorks one, or whatever they call it, Illumination, whatever. That's like 174. 28 years later sequel, 58 million. Glad no one saw that. But yeah, so our final little piece here to maybe open the floor for any spoiler thoughts.
Sorry, just before we move on, because the box office stuff, I was looking at everyone's drafts earlier and trying to, obviously, as I'm always looking at these, trying to work. I was actually trying to work out who's got like certain flops on theirs, because you look at it and go like, Caleb, you've got Spider-Man and Grogu. Jumanji was actually one that I don't think we talked about, because that comes out the week before Dune and Doomsday. So that could be majorly steamrolled by those coming out. But you've got Master of the Universe as well, which is going to be shit, and it's not going to do nothing because it's got Jared Leto in it, so we know it's going to do badly.
Leto?
We're looking at JD's and like Narnia, and I was like, Narnia's going to fucking bomb. No one gives a shit.
Netflix. That still makes me mad that I picked that.
Dave's got The Social Reckoning, which is going to be terrible. That's going to be like 28 years Bone Temple territory in terms of what it's going to take. So I was looking at going, I've probably got the only set of films that doesn't have a certified flop in it, but I don't have big enough hitters to win either, which is so annoying.
You'll be solid.
Wins the race.
I had a fourth draft pick. So I was like, maybe Hunger Games is the only one you can look at my list and consider, but that's got a pretty good following as well. So, but when he said like Scream's doing like 200 odd million, it was predicted 250. It makes me worry about Godzilla Minus Zero. But now it's confirmed that that's having a worldwide IMAX release.
Okay.
I might be safe on that one. So I reckon that I've not got enough big hitters to win the box office draft, but I think I'm going to be the only one that doesn't have a certified flop either.
You won't get last. You'll be second or third, probably. Maybe you get first. Never know.
No.
Kids like movies. So Project Hail Mary. Spoiler talk. If you have not seen the movie yet, thank you for joining us for our trailer talk. We'll see you next time. Go out and see Project Hail Mary. Support Dave. Actually, you know what? I want to say see the movie because I liked it, but don't support Dave. So go on a $5 Tuesday if you're here in the States. Make sure you give him less money for it. Okay.
Just wait for streaming. It'll be fine. Great movie. Great movie.
It'll be on Amazon. It's an Amazon movie, so I'm sure it'll be on Amazon in a month at least. But
to rent for $20.
But there's the spoilers. So spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. I really love the friendship between Rocky and what's his name? The main guy's name? I don't.
Grace.
Ryland Grace.
I didn't expect to like care about a rock alien so much. And like when you think he's dead in the movie, when the whole centrifugal force is spinning around and they stop it and then Rocky like sacrifices himself to save Grace. He like carries him back to the robot and the robot puts him into the, whatever to save him. And I'm thinking, oh God, like a lot of this like black smoke came out of his body. Like, is this guy dead right now? And then he sleeps for like months, it seems like, and then finally wakes back up. I'm just like, oh, thank God. Like I would have been so upset if this rock alien died. So I really like that part of it.
Oh,
Andy? Andy, did you love Rocky?
Dude, when I was reading, I thought you said JD, my bad.
Oh, sorry.
That's my bad.
I know we've both got beards. Calm down. Yeah, it was a funny relationship because it's almost like you don't know how an alien's going to be necessarily when he shows up on screen, and are they going to play it in like the serious, like we're aliens, we're very strict about our policies with like interacting with other aliens. But this one was just like a really fun little dude that just loves to like have fun and like ask questions and stuff like that. So when he turns up in his little he's designed his own little ball so he can roll around inside Grace's ship. That was, to me, was hilarious because he just piles in straight from the off and he's like, "Oh, cool, what's this room for? What's in all here? Oh, where am I sleeping? Is that where you sleep? What's going on in here?" And it was just like, oh my god, this dude's a fucking like ADHD thing. He was rolling around asking loads of questions. And developing the system so they can understand each other was really cool, to be fair. So, developing that kind of relationship with an alien after, I know obviously it takes him a while to remember everything about what he went through, because obviously he'd forgotten, and then just choosing to not go back to Earth and send the stuff back
Right.
on the drones, and then going off to save him. So that was, yeah, it's all like I said. This film was more about human emotion and the depths of like despair versus friendship versus closeness, and whether you actually feel tied to a place or whether it's just about the connections you have with a person rather than a place. And obviously, his relationship with Rocky just enhances that.
It helps he wasn't married or had any kids or any close family members too, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Right. JD, you have anything to add?
Yeah. Well, yeah, just mostly from the book. Like I said, I got out halfway, and I kind of gave my thoughts already. And I don't know. That's pretty much all I got. So,
Okay,
but in general, the story itself and how the movie goes, I think, well, first of all, I will also say that it did slow down quite a bit once he met Rocky. It wasn't it was a little more confusing how they even started communicating. Like it felt too easy, too simple. Like here's a clock, here's numbers, and all of a sudden we're good to go. I could hear your voice like the next scene and you're through my computer. I remember that felt more interesting through the book, but I actually went back and looked at my notes, and I said the same thing in the book. Like it really slows down in between. Basically, a lot of act two can feel slow. I don't know, there's parts of it, even though they come into a lot of problems. So with the book, how similar was the movie in terms of like all of the experimenting and tests they had to do to figure out the xenonite and the, what is it called, amophobia, something like that.
Oh god, I can't remember.
I don't think it's phobia, but
No, it's,
Yeah,
phobia something.
Amaphage or something.
I like that kind of stuff.
oh, there it is, aphrophage or something like that.
Yeah.
Aphrophage.
So I did read that apparently they missed out a lot of the scientific stuff from the book because obviously
Yeah,
this is
they
a
did,
film,
they
you've got,
did.
you've got to keep it going along. You can't get bogged down in like doing loads of the scientific stuff because a lot of people might find that boring. So I did hear they cut a lot of that out and they skip over it. They just showed the montage of them like testing things and doing
A lot of
stuff.
microscopes.
Yeah. So they did skip over that, to be fair, but it to me doesn't take away. I mean, you guys know I've got a master's in science, and so I would personally find that interesting. But it didn't detract from the story for me that they skipped over a lot of the in-depth science stuff, where in a book you
Yeah.
have the freedom to write that.
Right. And you hear his inner monologue. Like you can't just do that in a movie unless he's just talking out loud the whole time. But I kind of felt the same way, even though we skipped over all the really solid, like kind of detective work, figuring out where he is. Skipping over that was fine just because the movie was so entertaining. It was paced well, at least especially the first act. And we'll see about the third act. But it was constantly entertaining. Did they end up using astrophage to propel their ship?
Yeah.
Did they end up doing all that?
Mhm.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah. Rocky gave him like half of his, but he said that it would take me like 6 years to get home, but I'll give you half of mine and you can take it.
Yeah. And then Ryland goes back. And then what planet did he end up on?
So he ends
Was
up
it
on
Rocky's
Rocky's
planet?
at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rocky's planet. Yeah.
Because he basically works out that the astrophage is leaking through the xenonite
Right,
container, and so he's like, "Oh, I can seal mine up
He
and
goes
still take it home."
back.
But obviously, Rocky's ship is made of that, so he's like, he's going to die a slow, painful death. So he makes the choice to send all the predator eating bacteria back in the probes to Earth, so they can still go and do it, and then. He obviously goes and plots that was really weak though, to be fair, and I'm like, space is fucking huge, and like the fact that you managed to plot the exact course to the area where you think Rocky would be in 56 days time,
Right.
that was actually, I looked at that and went, that's fucking stupid, but okay, because I doubt you'd actually be able to find him because you went off in different directions, and like you may have an idea of where his planetary system is, but to calculate the exact spot where you'd be able to find him in 56 days' time, that was well out there.
I remember thinking that too. Like, how the hell did he find him? Like, it's fucking space. Like, it's not like the United States or something. Does the
did you
book
guys see
explain? Does the book explain how the other two astronauts died, or did I miss that?
I'm almost positive. Yeah. And
'Cause
we
it
learned a
kinda-
lot
he
more
kinda just
about them
wake-
too.
He kind of just wakes up and they're
Yeah,
dead,
they don't
right?
explain it, do they?
Well, were they a part of the flashbacks quite a bit?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
They were part of the flashbacks, but it explains nothing as to why they died on the journey.
Yeah,
there.
I can't remember if the book does. I want to say yes, but I feel like we could just assume
Life
faulty.
support or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Faulty equipment. That's weird.
How was it a very impactful moment when you find out Strat basically forces Rylan to go on the mission against his will? Was it a crazy moment? Because that was one thing I was really.
I kind of
looking forward
assumed
to.
it though, in a way. It almost seemed
Okay.
like the way he was acting the whole time, he wasn't gonna volunteer to go. The whole time he was like, okay, like, I'm just a teacher, I'm just a scientist, I'm not an astronaut. So, but it was still pretty. The whole scene was riveting.
I think at first you assume that he's going to continue to say no, and at the last minute he like agrees.
Right.
They like have to forcibly hold him down and inject him and go, this is going to put you into the induced coma already. And so the next time you wake up, you're not even going to know that you've taken off. You're just going to wake up on it on the fucking ship.
Crazy, he lost memories.
Maybe
that's
that's
he slept for so long.
No, did they do the thing in the book? Because Strat like injected him with something that forced his memories to go away.
Well, they don't say that. They just inject him and say,
Interesting.
This is going to put you into the induced coma straight away, and we're just going to put you on the ship and send you.
Right.
Yeah, in the book it explains that Strat had an element or something put in there that would erase his memory.
But Love, what did you think to the whole situation with having to build the 5 kilometer long bacteria collector and lower it down into the planet and collect all that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was interesting. It was definitely very risky, and I felt like he took too much of a risk at the end too. When Rocky's like, "Just come back into the ship, and because like everything goes wrong, and like it's dangling down underneath afterwards, and the ship's going too low into the atmosphere." And Rocky's like, "Just come in the ship, pull it back up, and then we'll go back out and grab it." I'm thinking like, yeah, that's probably the good idea, man. Like, if the ship crashes and explodes and you all die, like, you can always like go back up and make another run. You don't have to make like this the one and done sort of thing. So it was probably the most anxiety inducing scene of the movie. So I did like how like the music was getting loud. It was intense. Like, so I did really like that scene, but also it was pretty dumb from Grace,
I think it's also dumb because, again, this is probably where the science stretches a little thin. I know it's obviously not, it's not real life. I mean, I like Star Wars. It's not even close to real science. But if you're trying to like say that, a skip like a ship like that could skim the atmosphere of a planet and have issues where it's being pushed in and the gravity and the friction and everything else that's going on, and the ship would come away from there after being blasted out from the atmosphere and be fine. I'm like, well, again, I think you were stretching it a bit, the believability of that. Especially when all the shit goes wrong on the inside as well, that obviously he cracks his face into the screen and gets knocked out. And just activating the centrifuge solves the issue and steadies them. I'm like, but it was obviously supposed to be weighing into the emotional thing, and that's when Rocky busts out and risks himself to save him. So
AI can't help though. I feel like the AI computer system could have helped out a little bit more in that situation.
I'm like, what does this AI actually do? Because it's just
right. It just says stuff. It doesn't actually do anything.
He sits in the seat, pilot detected, and he's like, no, I'm not a pilot. JD, I mean, did they have that in the book? Where obviously the bit where they're catching the bacteria in the planet and it all goes wrong?
Yeah, that was a thing in the book. I forgot how they get out of it using the centrifuge, but yeah, that was a thing.
Because Rocky does it. Rocky hits the button. He comes out of his shell and he hits the centrifuge button himself.
Okay.
And then drags Grace to the med bay, and he's just like smoking the whole time, and fucking. It was emotional, to be fair, because it's a pivotal moment in the film where they need to get this bacteria. And if like you said, if the ship blows up and everything like that, then it's game over for everyone.
Everybody.
Literally all the both planets as well. It's not just the individuals at the risk there. So Yeah, a little bit stupid, but at the same point, it's like I don't know if we'll get another shot of this because can the ship withstand another effort at doing this? Um, Also, making a 5 kilometer long chain is fucking unreal. It's that shit would not just land in the clouds either. That shit would be tailgating behind fucking massively.
Yeah.
It was funny.
It's
But at the
heavy,
same
okay?
point, like, but the cinematography of all those shots was beautiful as well. Like that planet that they were around looked absolutely stunning. Um, just the whole way because space can be an interesting one to do with cinematography because a lot of the time it can look plain and boring, and especially when you have to like. Do you remember the film Gravity with Sandra Bullock?
What was that again?
Movie-
Yeah,
Gravity,
with
Sandra Bullock.
Like a mountain climbing thing. Oh no, that was a
No,
space thing. I
I'm
remember
literally
that.
talking about space. And I'm,
it's
Yeah, I know
Clooney.
where
It's-
Clooney too, right?
Shut up.
Isn't George Clooney in it?
Yes, he is. Yeah,
I like that one.
that was like
It was a good one.
2013 or 14, something like that. But the plot was awful, but the way that they obviously do the cinematography of space was absolutely spot on. And so it's interesting to see that space is either really dull or the cinematography has to be spot on, and they got it spot on in this to be like looking at the planets and looking at the stars, and the way that they just designed it to look that stunning was part of what made it so worth it to watch the film just in general for me.
Right. Trying to pull up an image here. There was a really good
Interstellar versus Project Hail Mary. Does anyone have Project Hail Mary over Interstellar?
Don't get crazy.
Okay.
Do you just call them crazy?
I would have to
It's been a long
finish it,
time
but
since- It's been a long time since I've watched Interstellar, to be honest. I remember being annoyed by it, but I also remember them saying it was one of the most scientifically accurate films like ever done, if not the most scientifically accurate film, because they obviously employed a bunch of physicists to obviously recreate what a black hole would look like, and the NASA used that data as well, the way that they made it and stuff. So you can't say that Interstellar probably doesn't look beautiful, but it's been so long since I've watched it. I think I didn't like the plot much, to be honest. It's a bit of Interstellar, but I think the film probably looks good.
Yeah, the Interstellar is like one of my favorite movies ever, outside of nerd stuff. So I can't wait to finish this because I really liked it because it has more like fast paced, entertaining stuff going on than Interstellar, but Interstellar is more intense and edge of your seat, maybe. And we'll wait to see until I see the rest of the movie, but it'll be an interesting comparison.
Yeah, I like Interstellar more. I'd have to put that over the top, but this was very good. I was very surprised how much I liked it towards the end because, like I said, the first 30 minutes or so, I wasn't like super in love with it. But then once he gets to space and then once he starts to meet Rocky and all that starts to go on and the friendship builds, that's when I really start to love the movie. So it's long.
Yeah,
2 hours and 36 minutes is pretty long.
that is long. And the first part is pretty it's pretty jarring. I feel like they go back and forth quite a bit.
They do.
Sometimes for full scenes and sometimes just for a quick shot of him doing something just to remind you that he's in space before we go back to the flashbacks. So it felt a little like he could have maybe edited that a little better. I don't know.
Yeah. Right. All right. Well, Andy, you want to give it a quick 1 out of 10 rating?
1 out of 10. I will give it I'll give it a 7.6 out of 10.
Okay.
Ooh.
Andy's tough, though. Andy's tough.
Yeah.
I'm a tough critic because I treat the 1 to, as I said many times, the 1 to 10 scale properly. So
Yeah.
We're Americans. We're Americans. So I'm gonna give it probably like 8.3, 8.4, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Mid 8s, because
Yeah.
by the end of it, I really liked the end of it. I almost teared up. I'll admit, my friend with me, I saw like a tear come down his face when he was watching, but me, I try to hold it back, but I definitely teared up.
I try to hold it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the movies. What can I say?
Yeah, it's in like the mid 8s so far for me, but I'll give a rating when I finish it.
I only cry during movies. It's funny, no other instance unless something tragic happens. You know what I mean?
didn't cry on his wedding day, but
Right? Yeah, exactly. All right. Well,
didn't cry on his wedding day. Cried the first time he saw his wife naked. We know that.
Yeah.
Exciting times. Didn't cry at Lord of the Rings, but but did cry at Project Hail Mary. That's love in a nutshell.
Right? Yeah. There it goes. All right. Well, JD, you're gonna have to give your official 1 to 10 rating on the movie once you finish it. You know, I'm sure the book is a
Indeed.
10 for you, but
Yeah, it's great. Top 5 all timer. Great book. Great book.
that's awesome. And there's no sequel. I'm surprised he didn't do a
Nope.
whole series with it. So I'm interested to see. He said he's thinking of the author as thinking about writing a sequel.
Don't do it. We've learned our lessons. Like
Yeah,
that
right.
organic, raw creativity will not be there. He's gonna try to do something to please people. It's just that raw creativity is what gets Game of
Right.
Thrones books out really
Yep.
good and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
that's
So
how it is.
you never know. Maybe it's good, but I'd say just leave it as it is.
The ending was super cliche anyway, so you may as well just leave it like that, and rather than try and replicate something else, because it won't be as good.
Right. What's it gonna do? Like go back home with Rocky and try to save Earth or something? You know?
Oh no, half. the
Well,
population is
actually,
dead.
a lot to explore on that planet.
Yeah.
I'm back in.
Now that I
back
think
in.
about it.
Getting back to Earth, that would be a cool sequel. Just getting back home.
It's what Project First and 10 or Center Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Although I don't know
Project
how
Kickoff.
they do it in the book, but they do have a bit at the end where Rocky says that their scientists have pretty much fixed up the Hail Mary ship, so it's ready to take him home if he wants to go.
Right.
And that's when he's like, "Can I just think about it?" And Rocky's like, "Yes, think about it for a long time."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he's built him the dome so he can live in there instead. So
He could come across
be-
Matt Damon out there on his way back to Earth.
Fuck that guy.
two Andy Weir books. Shit, Andy was in Interstellar. He'd come across Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, I
too.
thought you were talking about the Interstellar, because Matt Damon's in Interstellar and he's a piece of shit
real
in that
asshole.
movie.
Piece
He
of
shows
shit.
up like 2 hours in. It's like, what the fuck is Matt Damon doing here?
Right? That's so weird. Right after The Martian, too. It was weird to see him in
Yeah.
that movie. Like, is this a
Big space
crossover?
Right.
Well, Ryan Gosling, dude. Do you think this will pump people up for Starfighter? Because he's going to be the star in another
Oh.
sci-fi thing coming out.
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
think
Cool.
he's having a good few years because
Barbie.
I've said it before in our show, but I didn't really
Money-wise,
care
yeah.
much about him when he was younger. Like if you
Same.
said like the 2000s, or
McConaughey.
2010s, sorry.
That's how I feel about McConaughey, too. Yeah. He got way better when he's older. Sorry, Andy.
It's fine. You two talk over me. I'll say it's fine. The 2010s.
Love, how's your day?
Fuck me.
Got him.
Hey, listen here, Skinwalker. I'll fucking have you. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to Why So Silly. It's been a pleasure.
Hey, no, rom-com actors can have a second revival in their career. You know,
He's had a great 2020s, has Ryan Gosling. I didn't care about him in the 2010s. I've loved him in the 2020s.
What about Blade Runner?
Never seen it.
2049? Okay.
I haven't seen the first one, so I refuse to watch the second one until I watch the first one.
Channing Tatum, too. Sucks
Nah,
romantically, but then he's really funny.
Don't
I'm thinking
ruin it,
maybe
JD,
only
come on.
20-something Jump Street. He was great in 21 Jump Street. Let's give him a little
But
bit.
what serious movie has he done? That's the thing.
All right,
Did
fine,
you,
that's
have you
fair.
not seen G.I. Joe? Fucking hell.
Oh.
Well, I guess our next episode will probably be Daredevil, huh, guys?
Oh, I fucking hope so.
Yeah.
Love, did you ever
Can't
get
wait.
around to finishing the Netflix ones?
I'm getting to it. I haven't
my
seen. I never
God.
saw season 3. I watched the first 2 seasons.
Oh, you got Bullseye ahead of you. That's
Yeah,
good.
because it took you so long to watch season 2 because you guys had already pegged me as a guest to come on to discuss season 2. It took you so long to watch season 2. I joined the podcast as a regular host before you watched season 2 so I could come on as a guest. That's how
Did we
long
ever
it took
cover
you
it?
to watch it.
Did you ever do that episode?
We didn't
We never
cover
got
it
around
as
to
soon as
doing
we
it.
joined.
No, because I
No, it
fucking
still hasn't been
joined.
done.
Okay. Well, you know,
Okay.
it's a good show. It's a good show.
I'm
Thank
dying,
you.
I'm dying.
We gotta wrap this up here. It's getting a little crazy. We'll see you next time here at Why So Sidious, a nerd podcast.